Right, Shabbat Shalom, everybody in the body. Good to see y'all. If you would, hit that like button on your way in, right? And if you would, share this real quick to your social media. Let them know we live. I do apologize about Thursday, right? I had to go put a prayer over my daughter real quick in San Diego. I had to drive down there and put a prayer over my daughter before she got on this airplane. Last minute, had to go run down there and secure that. All praises to the Most High. So I kind of fell off on the call, but we will pick that back up. And anytime y'all want to speak, that's what we're going to do. We're just going to beeline there. If you got something you want to say, drop it in the chat, and we'll meet you over at the conference call number, and you can speak from over there. I'm still trying to figure out how to get that onto the internet and connect them so that everything could be heard clearly. Last time, that wasn't supposed to go like that. You know, I was just I came in here just to alert y'all and let you know that we were live on the call, you know, and that was the only reason why I came on the internet. But I didn't plan to be on the internet while we're on the call. But that was cool though. We're gonna keep doing it like that until I figure out how to connect it. I'm pretty sure it's connectable in this program that I'm using to stream with and record on. So, you know, I just gotta get more savvy. So we're gonna figure it out. All praises to the Most High. I might need some type of sound pack that I upload, technical stuff, you know, because it's not giving me many options. I got the main speaker and that's it. I think I'm gonna need to upload some more software, but which ain't no thing. Should be able to do it, get that done. But how's y'all Sabbath going? All right, somebody talk to me. I talk back. You know, I really didn't come in here with nothing but, you know, a firm, solid Shabbat Shalom, you know what I'm saying, to the 12 tribes worldwide and they who accompany them. Shout out to the Gentiles in Christ. It ain't hard to figure out something to talk about. All right, put these out. Bang. That's a good one. It's about the food of the Sabbath day, right? Yeah, let's go into that. We still doing it, even in the New Testament. Yeah, let's get that one. Kept 85 times in the book of Acts, right? Genesis 2. It's in Genesis, it's in Revelation. The Sabbath is the day between the Most High and his children. So you can make up whatever excuse you want. You can explain it away however you want. But at the end of what you're saying, you're not one of his children. Right? Because that's the sign between him and us. Right? You have to see that sign. That's what a sign is. A sign is a logo. We can understand that, right? We can understand a logo. This is my product, right? If you don't see that logo, this is not my product. So if the Sabbath ain't on you, then you ain't one of his children. Bottom line, I don't care how you try to explain it away. Ezekiel 20 and 12, matter of fact. That's where we're going to go first. No. Let's go there second. Either you have the sign, you have the logo, or you don't. And we keep saying, or it was a particular brother that said, man, stop playing with them and going to Jubilees 50 and Jubilees 51. And I'm like, yeah, man, I'm going to go. You know, I'm going to go. I'm going to do it eventually, right? I'm going to do it eventually. We're going to go there. But we're going to go here. Go here first. Precepts up. Okay. Who ready? Anybody ready to read these scriptures? Yeshayahu, Shabbat Shalom. Bill with the Buster, Shabbat Shalom. Charles Freeman, Shabbat Shalom. Michael Corbett, Shabbat Shalom. Cruising, Shabbat Shalom. Stephanie Hodge, Shabbat Shalom. Your Judah, Shabbat Shalom, family. Pray you guys are having a blessed Sabbath. Jay the Rhino, Shabbat Shalom, my brother. So that when they kick us off, we still get back on, right? Because in that program I'm using, when that one kick you out, that's it. It's a wrap. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Ain't no appeal. You know, we can't even put in no appeal to get back on, baby. That's it. So I'm going to stream through here and I'm going to record through there. So all praise. You know, we finding our way. You know. But Arakah, Shabbat Shalom, my sister. Ayalawan is in the building. Shabbat Shalom, sir. Right? My sister Lee. Oh, my fault. Let me connect y'all right now. Let me do that. Because when I did that, when I killed the conference, it got rid of your number. And I meant to shoot it to the other sister. So let me do that right now. Because y'all are close by each other. You know? And y'all both going hard. Both going hard for the team, Con. Sister Kim and Delise. I gotta get y'all Stephanie Hodges number so y'all can link up. Bless my sisters, man. You know, bless the sisters, man. You guys are so helpful, man. And boy, you know, you guys are definitely after the Holy Spirit, man, and help meets and things like that, you know? Man, y'all will think some things and like the brothers' heads ain't nowhere near around there. And one of the sisters would be like, hey, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, whoa, right? That has to have come from the Comforter, right? But yeah, let's get in these scriptures. Genesis 2 and 2 through 3, right? Let's slide that up a little bit. And that says, and on the seventh day, the Most High ended his work which he had made. And he rested on the seventh day from all his work which he had made, right? 3, and the Most High blessed the seventh day and sanctified it, because that in it he had rested from all his work which the Most High created and made, right? So we know he don't get tired, right? He wasn't tired. He didn't stop because he was tired. They said that, oh, your God got tired. Nah, you know, it was just something that he did, you know. He was done with his work, you know, and you don't gotta be tired to finish your work and sit back and just marvel at what you got going. I do that all the time. And that's kind of what he did, right? That's what he did. I do that all the time. I finish a track, whatever, you know, and I sit back and I blow that air out. And it's like, man, you know, and that's kind of what the Most High did, you know. So he ordered that we do that, right? Be perfect as your Father is perfect, right? We supposed to be following after him. And that's what you want your children to do, you know. It's blessed when my children do something, you know, that I do. Even when I didn't tell them to do it, it warms your heart. You know, you like, you know, you like, look at me. You know what I'm saying? Oh, praise to the Most High. So that brings us to this next one. What does it say? Ezekiel 20 and 12. Moreover, also I gave them my Sabbaths. So he gave us that. When he sat back and blew that air out on the seventh day, he said, man, it's going to be cool that my children do that too. You know, just take a rest and just take a break from everything. You know what I'm saying? He forwarded that from himself to us, right? So moreover, also I gave them my Sabbaths to be what? To be a sign between me and them. So why would you ever want to stop that? You know, why would you ever want to interrupt that with some other stuff? Just give him a day. He gave you 7, right? Take 1, dedicated to him. He gave you the other 6. That ain't half. That ain't 3/4. That, you know what I mean? That's crazy. We can't give him that. 1 day, right? To be a sign between me and them, that they might know that I am the Lord that sanctified them, right? Man, all praise to the Most High, right? For the Sabbath day, the day of the Lord, right? You can take this day and you can find every way to just crawl into the spirit of the Most High. You know, That's the only one day. It don't matter what you doing all other them other 6 days of the week, you know. And he did that so that we stay in him at least one day out of the week, right? If you work all week and you just take that Sabbath and do what you're supposed to do, you're going to be solid in the Most High. That one day is enough, right? You crawl in him, you get your study on, you know, you get your rest on. You know, you're going to be napping in and out throughout the day, so that's going to clear your mind, you know, so that your mind can even receive the studies, you know, because if you weary enough, you might as well just close the book, right? But when you resting on and off, rest in, rest out, you know, you getting that rest, you taking them cat naps here and there, man, that'd be the best sleep. And you wake up with a clear conscience, a clear mind, and then you can really receive the lesson that you get, you know. But yeah, that's the sign. That's the sign between him and us. The fringes is a sign between him and us. It never says that, you know. Speaking Hebrew is a sign between him and us. It don't say that. There is nowhere in this book where it calls those things a sign between him and us. It called the Sabbath a sign between him and us. And it's what sanctifies us to him. So it don't matter if you're a Gentile. Keep this Sabbath, right? All of that other stuff you're doing with your life, it's all praises, you know. That's all praises. But is it the sign? It's not the sign, right? This Sabbath is the sign between the Most High and his children. Now let's get this food here. Exodus 16 and 22 through 24. And it came to pass that on the 6th day they gathered twice as much bread, right? 2 omers for one man. I think those are loaves. And all the rulers of the congregation came and told Moses. Told Moses what? Hey man, we got this, you know, we got twice as much bread, you know, we got blah blah, you know, we did this, we did that. And Moses, you know, Moses responded. And what did he say? He said, verse 23 here. And he said unto them, what did Moses say to him? This is that which the Lord has said. Tomorrow is the rest of the holy Sabbath unto the Lord. Bake that which ye will bake today, right? So it was Friday, it was prep day, right? So he told them to bake that which ye will bake, and seethe that ye will seethe, right? To seethe is to boil, and that which remaineth overlay up for you to be kept until the morning. So on the Sabbath, you're supposed to be eating the food that you cooked yesterday. You're supposed to be eating leftovers, right? Oh no, you know, that's nasty, that's blah blah. You won't eat no. Okay, so guess what? Verse 24. And they laid up till the morning as Moses bade. I'm kicked off the net, but we're gonna go back through that. We're back. They're trying to give us a tough time, but it's all good. We're recording it. Y'all gonna be able to get every word you missed when I re-upload. And another thing, hold up real quick. Right, we back. Did you guys know something? Let me show you something. Let me show us something real quick. Exodus 16, starting at 22. And it came to pass that on the 6th day, they gathered twice as much bread, 2 omers for one man. And all the rulers of the congregation came and told Moses. 23. And he said unto them, that is that which the Lord has said. Tomorrow is the rest of the holy Sabbath unto the Lord. Bake that which ye will bake today, and seethe that ye will seethe, and that which remaineth overlay up for you to be kept until the morning. Right? So bake that which ye will bake, you know what that is, and seethe that ye will seethe. That's to boil, man, right? So that's what they was calling that back then, was to seethe it, right? To boil. And that which remaineth overlay up for you to be kept until the morning, right? So you wasn't cooking on the Sabbath. Things you ate on the Sabbath, you cooked the day prior. right? That was your Sabbath meal. All your food, you cooked it that day. And some people will say, well, I don't eat leftovers, right? They high, they up high on the pole and they, you know what I mean? That's nasty and blah, blah. But guess what? I got news for you. You slide this 24 off in there. Kapow, right? And they laid it up till the morning as Moses bathed, and it did not stink, right? So the Most High is doing something to this food to keep it fresh, right? He's blessing this food, right? So that's just as fresh, as it was the day prior when you eat this. Matter of fact, you might notice that food tastes better the second day, right? The flavors and stuff, the stuff you use, the herbs, the spices that you use and things, they get to expand and ferment and really take hold of your dish, and things seem to taste better that second day around, right? Neither was there any worm therein, so it didn't spoil. I wanted to bring that out. That Sabbath food is blessed, y'all. When you are obedient and you cook it Friday and you let it lay over to the next day, man, that be some good flavorful food, don't it? Right? Yeah, we love that, we love putting the Most High, in the position, to perform his miracles and his blessings and his things that he do for us, and he loved doing those things for us, so it's a blessed thing that we put him in a position, where he's able to act out his love for us. That comes with being obedient, right? It's in the Revelation. It's the last book of the Bible, the last one. This is the Revelation, right? Do we know what a revelation is? It's coming from the word reveal, right? So there were some things in this book that he let you believe, right? All throughout this book, he let us believe some things, right? He didn't tell us to believe that. We believed it. And then when he's ready and when it's time, he does what? He reveals something, right? What I said, because a lot of people took that messed up way. Like, hey, things about the heavens that you're not telling us? Because I did say that, I got to keep, so I can't, you know what I mean? There's some things I got to keep to myself, y'all. Not to myself, but to the heavens. It ain't time for it to come down here yet. And that's what the angels did. The angels broke that, right? Then we read that. We read that. It's in Enoch 8. All of the things that they came down and showed the earth, right? And it was a sin, it was they were rebellious angels who came down here and did that, right? So now it's like he got the same responsibility in my lap, and I gotta be strong enough to, not roll over on that. But I believe, he has the means to let me know if something changes. But till then, yeah, I can't talk about something, because everybody's not responsible, and that certain souls can take it and do damage with it, and that'll be my fault. And then, even though I didn't do it with my hands or my mind or my words, or you know what I'm saying, even though I didn't perform those deeds, I put the information out here, right? And that will make me what? Not blameless, right? Check out the blameless. I would be to blame. Run that one back, right? Run that one back. Trying to maintain that. Trying to maintain my blamelessness, right? Trying to be without fault. Right? So, yeah, that's what revelation is coming from, the word reveal. So, really, you can open the book of Revelations and you can correct so many things, right? So many things from the rest of the book, right? John the Revelator, right? John the Revealer, so to speak, right? Oh, praise the Most High. Revelations 1 and 10. And I was in the Spirit on the Lord's day and heard behind me a voice as of a trumpet, right? So on the Lord's day, what day is that? Right? That's the Sabbath, baby. That's what it is, right? I was in the Spirit on the Sabbath day, right? I'm curious, though. I'm curious what he learned. What did he tell him, right? I heard a great voice as a trumpet, right? Let's see. Okay. It's Christ. Christ coming to him, right? Oh, yeah. Let's go ahead and get all that, right? Yeah, let's go ahead and get all that. Paste that up in here. Boom. Boom. Yeah, let's read this. What did he say to him? Saying, hold on, let's start back at 10. I was in the spirit on the Lord's day, and I heard a voice, and I heard behind me a great voice, as a trumpet. 11. Saying, I am Alpha and Omega, the first and the last. And what thou seest, write in the book, and send it unto the 7 churches which are in Asia, Ephesus, and unto Smyrna, and unto Pergamos, and unto Thyatira, and unto Sardis, and unto Philadelphia, and unto Laodicea, right? 12, and I turned to see the voice that spake with me, and being turned, I saw 7 golden candlesticks. 13, and in the midst of the 7 candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man. What did he have on? Clothed with a garment down to the foot, right? And girt about the paps with a golden girdle. So Christ-like garments, y'all, right? You got one to go all the way down to the foot, you know that's a brother that likes garments, right? And girt about the paps with a golden girdle. Girt about the paps. Right? Oh, they think they describing him like, ooh, right? Girt about the paps, right? That's slang, you know, saying he's laid out, right? Girt about the paps with the gold. So he got on the nice shining white garment with a golden girdle, right? Describe him some more. His head and his hairs are white like wool, right? So it's white and like wool, right? Because a lot of wool ain't white, you know? It's white and like wool, right? Now, if you look at wool, it's like off-white. It's not white. Wool ain't white like that. No, it's talking about the texture, right? So it's saying it's white and like wool, and then it goes on to say as white as snow, right? So that wool was to get the texture. So in order to put the white vision back, it had to say as white as snow, right? And his eyes were as a flame of fire, right? So he has a lot of emotion in his face is what that means, right? Fire in his eyes, right? Yeah. 15, in his feet like unto fine brass. That's to give you the gold, right? As if they burn in a furnace, right? So that's how our skin would be. If you burn anything, it's going to turn black, right? Or dark brown. But with this, even through that burn, you would still be able to see that gold through there, right? That brass, and that's exactly how our skin is. You know, it don't matter how dark we are, you're going to see a gold tint up under there. That's an Israelite, y'all. There's a lot of other people with this brown skin. They're not gold under there. And East Indian is brown too. He don't have the gold tint, right? His skin is brown. His tint is brown, right? Ham is brown. They have a different tint. You ain't gonna see them golden. And that's how I could tell them apart in Africa. If they got that gold tint, that's an Israelite. I don't care what tribe he's saying he's from in Africa. If that tint is gold, he's an Israelite, right? He said his ancestors escaped them ships, right? They had a good hiding spot, you know, or, you know, it's a lot of reasons why they would have got left behind. I heard they was only taking the best of us when they were there. If you was a regular brother, they kind of like, you know, you had to be somebody, you know, that the slave traders and things wanted to buy. You know, they wasn't just putting anybody on them ships. You know, you had to be somebody that they wanted. So all of us Judah in America know you came from somebody powerful, right? That's why the people that they have over here know how to do so much stuff, so many talents we have. I got so many talents, fam, right? I got things, I never done it before, but my first time at it, I'm like an expert sometimes. And people be like bugging out, like, wow, you know, I know how to do things that I don't even know I know how to do yet, right? So many different talents, y'all, and we all have them, right? We all have them because they pick the best to put on them ships, y'all. But you're gonna see that gold tint in us. A Hamite, they be having blue and purple, and you know what I'm saying? They be having all kind of different types of tints in their skin, right? The Israelite, you're gonna get that gold, you're gonna get that burned brass in there, right? And man, gold, man, that's a major color, ain't it? He made us gold, y'all. He made us burn brass. That's the difference, right? Think I'm talking crazy if you want to, right? And his feet like on the fine brass, as if they burned in the furnace, and his voice as the sound of many waters. 16, and he had in his right hand 7 stars, 7 angels. And out of his mouth went a sharp 2-edged sword. That's this book. And his countenance, his face was as the sun shining in his strength, right? So his face was shining like Moses, wasn't it? When Moses came down, had to cover his face, had to put a veil on, his face was shining, right? It's lit up. But yeah, we originally came here to say, you know, this is happening on the Sabbath, right? So when he appeared to John the Revelator, it was the Sabbath, y'all. So we still keeping this Sabbath in the last book of the Bible, right? But this is Luke's account, right? What did he say about the Sabbath? What did Luke say, right? Luke 23:56, and they returned and prepared spices and ointments and rested the Sabbath day according to the commandment. So it ain't no part in this book where this Sabbath ain't being kept, right? From Genesis to Revelation, this Sabbath is being kept, y'all. So how do we fall off on that, right? How does our Sabbath lose its importance, right? When it's what? Moreover, also I gave them my Sabbath to be what? To be a sign between me and them, right? I love that. I love that, right? Oh, we got an intruder, y'all. I am 100% Sephardic Jew by blood, and I ain't even black. Y'all are Ethiopian. That's crazy. Okay, it's too late for that, buddy. The Most High told us who we are, right? Ethiopians. Nah, right? He coming, he thinking he can persuade us, y'all. You can't persuade us. We gonna see. We gonna see who the Jew is, okay? Let's bring that out. Bring it out. You ain't no Jew. What even is a Jew? What even is a Jew, right? What happened to all the other 11 tribes? How are you just calling yourselves Jews? That's how we know that you guys are not being truthful, right? Because what happened to the other 11 tribes? You know, you a Jew from what tribe, right? Because the word Jew is short for Judah, right? So y'all took one tribe and made it y'all whole 12-tribe nation of Israel, right? Where Benjamin at, right? What happened to Ephraim? None of y'all are Ephraim, right? Where's the Ephraim's, right? Where's the Benjamins? Everybody's just Jews now, right? Bless you. Bless you, my brother. If you ever want to get right, or it's on the Most High, you know? We pray that we pray that the Most High speaks to you, right? And corrects you, because he only corrects who he loves. So if he doesn't correct you, hey, he has spoken, right? I'm so glad you came in here, brother. You just don't know. If you knew how happy it made me for you to come in here, you would have stayed out, or you would have stayed quiet, right? You would have never came and said that. You are not speaking to some people that you can persuade. You would have never came in here. Ain't no other Jew but the tribe of Judah. Oh, we gonna break it down. Should we go into it on them, family? Should we go into it on them? Well, we gonna go into it on you. Revelation 2:9, I know thy works. I know all that you do, right? And you don't get paid for it. You've been slaves, right? And tribulation. I know all that you go through. I know they beat your back with a whip. I know they shooting you in the head on the streets while you got your hands up. I know how they do you in the courts. I know how hard they make it for you to make a check, right? Which leads us to what? In poverty. I know you poor. I know you ain't got nothing, right? I know you live in the roughest neighborhood in the city. I know that. This is our Father talking to us. Okay? You cannot replace this with any other people in this earth, right? I know about that. I know how hard you work and don't get paid. I know how you getting stepped on and killed and poisoned, and you know what I mean? I know you're poor. I know you ain't got nothing, but guess what? But thou art rich, right? You are the one who have everything. Why? Because you have me, the Most High, talking to the children of Israel, right? Who's suffering harder than the people on this chart, on this 12 tribe chart that we talk about, right? Who's suffering more than them, right? Who controls less in the earth than these people, right? But guess what? They are the people who are with. They're the people who have everything. Why? Because they go on after this world is done. They're going to continue. And then that's when they're going to start having things, right? That's when they're going to control the earth again. We only lost it because we was hard-headed, but he loved us enough to even give it back to us after we messed up, right? But thou art rich, but we are rich, right? We ain't even gotta care about the gold and the diamonds and the silk and the linen and the blah blah, you know what I'm saying? We ain't, you know, the silk and the satin, we ain't gotta trip off of that right now. That's why Gentiles are so gung-ho about this stuff, because it's all they have, right? Enjoy the earth now, because it's temporary, right? Now that's Wisdom of Solomon chapter 2. Go read that chapter, right? That's the Gentiles, Deuteronomy 28. It's going to describe you, right? But thou art rich. And I know the blasphemy, which is this guy. This is you right here. I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are who? But are the synagogue of Satan. Tell me more about this synagogue of Satan, right? Kapow! Behold, I will make them, right? Revelation 3 and 9. I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews and are not, but do liar, right? Behold, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet, and to know that I have loved you, right? So you guys are going to play games with all of this, and oh, you guys are not the Jews and blah, blah, right? You ain't gonna play that no more right here. When we get here, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet, and to know that I have loved you, right? Because they're gonna confuse it until we get right here. I take that back. There's gonna be another time where you also admit it. There's another place you're gonna admit it before there, and these are our friends, right? Let's go to the friends. That's Hosea 1 and 10. Well, let's go 9 to 11. Let's get the verse back and the verse forward to make sure we get good context. Let's get good context, right? Pow. Come back here. Straighten this out. Bang. Get that right. Slide that in there. Hosea 1 and 9. Then the Most High calls his name Moami. Right? Sound like somebody out of Naphtali, right? For ye are not my people, and I will not be your God, right? It's him cutting us off. 10. Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered. We can measure the Jews of this earth. Measure y'all. It's easy, matter of fact. It's not a lot. They're not innumerable. Guess who's innumerable? If you try to put all the blacks with all the Mexicans, with all the West Indies, not only Jamaicans, but there's a lot of West Indians, including the Jamaicans, including the Belizeans, right? A lot of people, a lot of different nations. You feel free to name yourself if you're here, right? There's quite a few in the West Indies, right? If you add all of the Haitians, if you add all of the Cubans, man, what would that number look like, y'all? If you add all the Dominicans, if you add to all of those, all of the Puerto Ricans, This is innumerable, you guys, right? This is which cannot be measured nor numbered, right? If you add all of the islanders, right? Samoa, right? Hawaii, right? All of the Fiji Islands, the Guamanians, okay, that's Naphtali, okay, the Filipinos, okay, Naphtali, right, the Cambodians, right, the Laotians. Man, no, they think they Asians. People are not Asians, fam. See how dark they are with them lips? Them is Israelites. You see that gold tint? Them is Israelites, right? Who else? That ain't all of them. All of them. Reuben, right? The Seminoles, the Seminoles, right? Down in Australia. There's so many. All of the Colombians. Colombians got a light nation that look like Mexicans. It's a whole bunch of them. And guess what? They have just as many that look just like me. Darker. Those are all, that's the sand of the sea, my people. Right? And it shall come to pass that in that place where it was said unto them what you just said, right? Ye are not my people. There it shall be said unto them, ye are the sons of the living God, right? Then, verse 11, then shall the children of Judah, the dark-skinned ones, right? The mostly dark-skinned, Benjamin, Judah, and Levi, right? And the children of Israel, these are the lighter, the 10 tribes, right? The lost 10 tribes. Why do they call them lost? Because they mixed and they don't look like the southern kingdom anymore. That's how they got lost. Right? So you're looking for them in the earth and it's like, man, can't be them, can't be them. Yes, them, right? They're so different. They speak another language. They was conquered, you know, by the Spanish. They're mostly going to be Catholic, right? That's who conquered them. Spain. A Spaniard is a white man, right? He's from Spain. You know? Why is a Mexican homeland Mexico and not Spain? You see that? What were they speaking before they spoke Spanish? They were speaking Hebrew. Matter of fact, they still call their mom Ama. Right? They still making unleavened bread. What you think a tortilla is? Right? All praises to the Most High. So, verse 11, then shall the children of Judah and the children of Israel be gathered together, right? And appoint themselves one head. Who is that? Christ, right? And they shall come up out of the land, for great shall be the day of Jezreel, which is another name for Israel, right? Jezreel is Israel, right? So, yeah, we can't be persuaded over here, my brother. You know, and salvation lies with us. So, Uh, you can occupy yourself with a lot of things in this earth, but it's not going to end in salvation, right? The salvation is lying with us. You got to listen to us, right? And man, it's been made next to impossible, y'all, without this latest word that he just sent me back here with. It's Revelation, or it's 1 Corinthians chapter 13. Right? If you want to make it, that's your chapter. If you want to make it without doing the things of that chapter, good luck. And everybody who ain't teaching that, man, I'm sorry for you. Right? And I know a lot of people say that. Don't mix me up, right? Don't mix me up with the people who are saying I'm the best and we're the best and if you ain't with us. And no, I'm not saying that. I'm saying teach 1 Corinthians chapter 13 or else, right? Because all of this other stuff is a mess and it don't tie nothing together. You still loose-ended at the end of everything else y'all are teaching, right? You don't got no anchor, right? And it's so easy to fall off on something, right? Something vital, something that you need to save yourself, right? We've been doing it wrong. Now let's see who's gonna receive this correction, right? Let's see who's prideful, right? Because this is coming from somebody who was nobody, who don't want nothing, right? I don't want nothing, right? And how you see people treat this, that's going to determine where the earth is. When the earth steps up and we get these vineyards built, that's gonna be the earth saying, okay, we ready, right? We ready to move forward. We ready to be better in this truth. We're ready to be a better people. We're ready to be God's people, right? You ain't ready to be the Most High's people long as you're willing to allow your enemy to keep feeding you, right? To keep bringing you dishes from behind a wall. And you know they hate you. And you know they would give anything, right? They would give anything to have you not exist. And you're going to keep eating their meal, right? You're not awake. You still sleep, baby. That's when we gonna know y'all desire a nation. That's when we gonna know you ready to be the Most High's nation. That's when we gonna know. Kapow! That's the conference. Conference call. Call in there, brother. Tuesday, right? Tuesday at 7 o'clock Pacific time, right? And let's have a dialogue, man. Hopefully I could get you over to this 1 Corinthians chapter 13, man. Fill your heart with some love, right? Because that's a bored person that wants to go around and, hey, you guys are this and that and blah, blah, and, you know, and try to persuade people with falsehood. You know, man, it's a much better life to be living. Any of y'all who are going around, man, even Israelites, if you're going around and your desire is in hurting feelings and, you know, crushing somebody with this knowledge, you're doing the thing with the knowledge, buddy. You know, a knife can cook your dinner or it can stab somebody. You're stabbing somebody with the knowledge, you know. You know, and that's what 1 Corinthians chapter 13 is teaching us. Love, y'all, charity, to give, right? Charity gives. Knowledge puffs up, right? Knowledge gonna puff you up, but charity edifies, right? Charity helps. You're a better person when charity walks away from you, right? Yes, sir. Let's read the chat a little bit. How we doing in the chat? How y'all doing? How y'all Sabbath going? Talk to me. I'll talk back. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid, baby. Telling my age. Y'all might not know nothing about that. All right. Yeah. There is a set apart tribe there, which is a part of the Solomon and Sheba. Solomon and Sheba? You're talking about the Ethiopians? Believe all things, right? Possibly. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, you know? Who am I to say? Tomorrow the Most High might present some Ethiopian tribe and come down out of the sky, you know, and tell us, hey, these are one of your tribes. And then what we gonna say? We just gotta accept that. So believe all things. Another thing we learned in First Corinthians chapter 13. Another thing we learned there, right? I am Ephraim cruising. Shalom, Quam, Ephraim. Right? My brother Josue. Good to see you, my brother. Shabbat Shalom. Right? Pamela Hope. Good to see you. My sister. Right? The rest of the I am already spoke to. Mr. LaShun Perry. The Perry family. Shalom to you. Right? Marie Bish. Representing Benjamin. Quite hard. All praises. Kwam Banyamyan. Right? Marie Bish in the building. Right. Sister Lee, Philippines. Glory to the Most High. Right? On this blessed Sabbath. Shabbat Shalom. Barak to you and your beautiful family. Washam Yeshaya. Wawak Kodash or Kodash Wawak. Spin that around. Words that describe something go first. Jamie, Sister Jamie. Unless it's a brother, because there's some brothers named Jamie too. Don't let me get your gender wrong. I apologize if I do. Spin that Kodash Wawak around and call her Wawak Kodash, which is her title. Kakama Waf, which is her name. Wisdom. Right? It's wisdom in the air. People say, it must be something in the air, right? Yeah. Her name is Kakama Waf, right? It must be something in the air. We will unite. Oh, we uniting right now. Jeremiah 16 and 19, are y'all on? We should get that one. Let's go to it. Jeremiah 16:19. Let's pull it up on our little scripture board here. Correct it so that it's neat. Line it up right so that it fits in our little window and whatnot. Bang, boom, pow, and switch it over. Pow. No, let's do this one. Switch that one over. Pow. Jeremiah 16:19 says, "O Lord, my strength and my fortress and my refuge in the day of affliction. The Gentiles shall come unto thee from the ends of the earth, and shall say, surely our fathers have inherited lies, vanity, and the things wherein there is no profit." What did you just speak? Lies. What else did you just speak? Vanity. What else did you just speak? Things wherein there is no profit. Not for you, not for me, not for anybody who's listening to those words my man spoke. Is there any profit in? Why? Because surely their fathers have inherited lies. Right? And why are we rich? Which I brought out. Because the Lord is our strength and fortress and refuge in the day of affliction. Right? That's why he called us rich. Y'all see that? And these scriptures, anyone you throw up here, it's just going to tie right into that. Anything you throw at us, it's going to fit right into this situation right here that my man just came and spoke on. Right? All praises to the Most High. Bless y'all, family. Right? I've been recording for an hour and 40 minutes. So I'm gonna spruce this up and put this back up, y'all. So you're gonna be looking for it, and it's gonna be gone. And I do apologize about that. Right. Keep all the laws and commandments and statutes, as well as holidays or holy days unto this day, including Torah. I agree with you there, Ahikamar, right? Araya, right? That was my sentiments exactly for the kingdom, right? Respectfully, I think I know my culture and history best. That's right. That's right, Sister Lee. Let us know, let us know. Right? Can't tell nobody who they are. That's crazy. That's crazy that we have some people in the earth that are able to tell another people who they are. That sounds like Jeremiah 17:4 to me. Let's see what Jeremiah 17:4 says. Right? In order for you to even be able to say that to somebody, they're gonna fit this curse right here. They're gonna fit this automatically. Ain't it? Automatically. And thou, even thyself, shall discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee. That's how you have people coming to us saying, trying to tell us who we are. People who didn't lose their heritage, you can't even have that conversation with them, right? Nobody had to go tell anybody else that they were somebody else. That only happens to the children of Israel. So if that happens to you, you're a child of Israel, right? There's people finding out new news who thought they knew who they were. Guess what? If that happens to you, bottom line, you are an Israelite. Why? Because even thou, even thyself, shall discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee, right? I'm going to take the heritage that I gave you. Where do we find that? Hosea 4:6-7 is where you find that. And I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in a land which thou knowest not. In a land you ain't never been to. That's where you're going to go serve. So it wasn't talking about Egypt. We had already been there. Nah, it's talking about other lands, right? For ye have kindled a fire in mine anger, which shall burn forever. Ain't it? Yeah. That's how they're able to come say, oh, you're not that, you're this, right? Yeah, we don't look nothing like Ethiopians. I know it's like 52 tribes over there. Try another one, because Ethiopian ain't it. That ain't us. All praises to the Most High. We can keep going, you know. Yeah. Let's get another one, y'all. Let's get one more. Let's get one more before I check off of here and y'all enjoy y'all Sabbath, right? Let me see. We're gonna go to Hosea 4. We're gonna slide this over to there. Pop it in there like that. Right? My people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. What happens to a nation with no knowledge? They become slaves, right? What does a nation do to their dumb? They put them to work. Your hands work, right? And that's been the slaves. Before this happened, that's who you seen as a slave. The ones who lack knowledge in your nation, that's who that nation, okay, you guys do the hard work, right? What happens when you get a whole nation like that? They all go under. They go under a nation that is not destroyed by a lack of knowledge, right? You have knowledge, you're thinking, so you're pointing and beckoning, do this, do that, you know what I'm saying? So now you're doing that to a whole nation of people, right? Let me help you understand this book. Because thou hast rejected knowledge. So we rejected the knowledge that the Most High gave us. We rejected it, right? We wanted to know something else. We wanted to witness something else. We wanted to experience something else. So he said, what? I will also reject thee. So go ahead then. Go experience that, right? Let me take the heritage I gave you and you go be slaves for them, right? That thou should be no priest to me. So that was the knowledge that he gave us. That was what? Ooh, the heritage that he gave us, right? The heritage that I gave thee. He's going to take it right here. Ooh, that's the heritage that he took, right? The heritage of a priest, y'all. You don't want to be no priest. You ain't going to be nothing. I feel sorry for whatever you're going to become if you don't want to be this priest. To whom much is given, much is required. You are a priest. You tired of being a thug? You're going to be a priest. You tired of working hard and not getting paid? You're going to be a priest. You tired of getting shot in the head by the cops and you ain't did nothing? And your hands is up like this? Pow! You tired of that? You better be a priest, right? Because that's what you fell from. And that's the only thing he's going to raise you back up to. He's not going to raise you up to be a regular person. No, he's going to raise you up and you're going to be a priest, right? You're going to connect him back to the earth, right? Genesis 32. Israel is the connection between heaven and earth. Israel is the only one that can connect God back to the world. And he made it like that on purpose, right? Israel means to have power between God and man. You have both power with God and man. So you are the intercedent, which Christ is, and we are his nation, ain't it? Oh, you didn't know it was on the level that deep, is it? Yeah, we are Christ. That's why they hate us. Every time they kill us, they kill Christ, right? Every time. And that's why they can't get rid of us, because we are Christ. It don't matter how many of us, they keep shooting and killing and poisoning, and we keep coming back. We keep standing back up with all of this beard and this gold skin, right? This gold tint in this brown skin, right? And now we wrapping our heads like this. I know that really scares them, right? Oh, he's back again. Dang. Right? Put me down right now. Another brother gonna pop up with this beard and then, with his layers on. Bing, 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 pop, pop. Right? We keep bringing them back. Christ again, and again, right? They can't get rid of us, right? Why? Because that's when we're in our proper form. That's why he put us here, to be a priest, right? Seeing that thou hast forgotten the law. The law, what is the law, y'all? That's the rules of the earth. That's what he gave us, right? That's why without this law, you're looking at the world that you're looking at, because it's the law that says don't cheat on your wife. Now they calling the wife's bottom a booty. What is a booty? A stolen good. You're stealing that. That ain't yours. Everybody fornicating, adultery everywhere, right? That's why they're calling a woman's bottom that, because it's stolen, not yours. That's stolen goods, right? Booty, right? That's what pirates used to call the gold they used to steal, the treasures, right? Booty! Right? Seeing thou hast forgotten the law. It's the law that says don't kill somebody. Thou shalt not murder. It's the law, right? It's the law that says I made this food. I didn't make that food. Don't eat that, right? What are they doing? Eating that, right? I will also forget thy children. So don't think you're going to have children and they're not going to fall under this curse that I'm putting on you. No, it's only one way back out of these curses is to repent and do what? Start obeying. Start doing what the Father says, which is what? The law. That's what the Father says. Do this. Don't do that. Eat this. Don't eat that. What's today? The Sabbath, right? Remember the Sabbath day and keep it holy, cut and dry. So all of these churches, they picked the Sabbath to get up and run around all day on the freeway, right? Crashing and, blowing tires. And now you got to break that sweat up under your car with a jack, right? Oh, I ain't got no gas. You got to pull over to the gas station and do what? Spend money. It don't matter why you doing it. You're doing it. It don't matter why you're standing there. We can walk up to you at the cash register and ask you why you're there. No, that ain't the question. The question is, why are you standing at this cash register? Why are you cooking, slaving over this steaming pot, right? When this told us what? Right here. Exodus 16 and 22. Bake that which ye will bake today, and seethe that which ye will seethe, and that which remaineth overlay up for you to be kept until the morning. You supposed to be eating what you cooked yesterday, and guess what he gonna do? He gonna bless it. 24. And they laid it up till the morning, as Moses bade, abide. He kicked it, right? And it did not stink. When he got up the next day, it did not stink, right? Neither was there any worm therein. You ain't got to worry about no maggots or nothing, right? Matter of fact, it's going to taste better than it tasted the day prior. Yeah. So we got to stop being hard-headed, or stop saying you keep law. No, you don't. You're a liar, right? You lying. You worse than TD Jakes. You just as bad, right? You lying or you telling the truth. That's it. It ain't no different gauges or, how bad this is, you know what I'm saying? And that should have came out with the blameless teaching. But it will. There'll be others, right? Everything that we're going into There's going to be 4, 5, 6, 7 parts of it, right? Because it's just so much to go into. And, you know, we're going to keep finding it. And we're going to, oh, I forgot about that. Oh, I forgot about. So we're going to have to keep coming back with these, right? Yeah. Are you doing what the Father says or not? Grace. What is grace? You have a grace period at work, don't you? You could be 5 minutes late, can't you? You could be 15 minutes late, huh? You know, if that's the grace period that they're giving you, ain't it? That runs out after 15 minutes. So at minute number 16, you in trouble, ain't you? Right? So grace means you have this much amount of time to be late. You can't say, I'm not going to work today. I got a 15-minute grace. Let me help you understand grace. Grace is if you need it, right? If you don't need it, that's Hebrews 10 and 26. Let's get Hebrews 10 and 26 now. Let's throw it in there. We type that up. Hebrews 10 and 26. This is what's going to make Yeshaya say he don't know you. So all of y'all who are part of these factions that ain't keeping this Sabbath, you done fell off on what? The sign between him and us. Period. You ain't his children, right? Hebrews 10 to 26, for if we sin willfully, after that we have received the knowledge of the truth, there remaineth no more sacrifice for sins. So what's sacrifice for sin? What remission are you talking to me about if you sinning on purpose? This is how they got you. This is separating real brews from everybody else. This. So you can't be shocked when you get to where they're going to turn you over to these other folks that you thought was your enemy. They're going to turn you over to them. And they're going to smile in your face. Well, that face you trust, that smile you trust, that same smile is going to say, well, it told you right there, right? Well, you knew you was busting these scriptures up a long time ago. They're going to tell you that, right? For if we sin willfully, after that we have received the, didn't you receive the knowledge of the truth? Yeah, you knew it. So now this, right? You had the scriptures while you didn't listen, right? There remaineth no more sacrifice for sins. If you're sinning on purpose, there remaineth no more sacrifice for sins. Thank me later. You hate me right now. You're looking at me. You're disgusted, right? It's okay. I love you. And that's the only reason why I'm saying this, right? And they had me too. They had me too. And the Most High showed me the heaven. He Enoch'd me in order to put me on the right path. And he brought me back from the dead to share it with you. He granted us what he told them in Luke 16. They have Abraham and the prophet. They got their Bible. Right? So, man, you see this thing he done did in these last days for the righteous, man. He did, man. And it's clear cut, right? You don't got to be a part of us. You don't got to do none of that. But take this information and apply it to whatever you got going. And I see y'all changing. I see y'all talking health. I see y'all starting to do all praises to the Most High and making promises and things like that. But let's see them promises. You know, your whole congregation can thank me later, right? Because we gonna put, I want them to throw something nice. I want them to throw y'all a big old banquet, right? That y'all don't gotta pay for it. That's what I want to see. All the money you done took from them people, do that for these people. At least once. I want to see it. When I see that, now you guys are repenting. You can't just say, I'm sorry. No. What you putting behind your sorry, right? Yeah. You know? Yes, sir. Hikamar says to our sister Marie Fish, in the meantime, we are to let everyone grow together until the harvest is ripe and complete. Then the Most High will do the separation, not me. Right, that's true. Not all the way true. It comes with discernment, right? It comes with discernment. Grow together. That's for us who fail to see who's among you. But if you see the tares among you, weed them out now. Weed them out now. Right now. Right? We gonna make that plain, buddy. That's 2 Corinthians chapter 6. Right? Let's paste this over here. 16. Be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers. What's an unbeliever? Somebody who don't receive what they should, right? If they don't believe what you believe, that's an unbeliever, right? That's a tare among you. That's what that is, right? For what fellowship has righteousness with unrighteousness? So if you're righteous and that's your aim and that's where you're trying to get to, and you see that unrighteousness, yeah, you can forgive some, you can forgive. If you truly believe that they're sorry and that they made a mistake that they was unaware of, right? Then you can forgive that. And what communion have light with darkness? Once you're a child of the light and you see that constant darkness, now you can forgive it. Or 15. And what concord has Christ with Belial, who is Baal, right? What communion have Christ with the devil? Where are they together? Or what part has he that believeth with an infidel? That's an unfaithful person, right? That's a person that's, when he talking, you can't believe nothing coming out his mouth. Because he's going to do what's best for him, right? They don't have no morals. They're going to do whatever makes them feel better, right? They're going to do whatever gains for them. When you believe, I don't do that, right? I'm not into that. I'm into this, right? That's a person with beliefs, right? 16. And what agreement has the temple of the Most High with idols? Our God is living, breathing, controlling the earth, right? An idol don't breathe. It got legs, but it can't walk. It got a nose, but ain't no air coming in and out of it. It's a sculpture, something that you done made for yourself, right? It got eyes, but it can't see, right? That's an idol. For ye are the temple of the living God. And the Most High has said, I will dwell in them and walk in them. So if he's in you, then you're going to walk like him. That's what that means, right? I will dwell in them and I will walk in them. So if the Most High is in you, we should be able to see you doing what he says to do. And that's why if you ain't keeping this Sabbath, you ain't his child. Y'all see this? I will dwell in them and walk in them, and I will be their power. I will be their God, and they shall be my people. That's the only way this happens. If he's in you and walking in you. And we should be able to see that from the outside looking in. So it should be, a process of elimination when we look and we see what ain't God in people. We see them busting up this law and this gospel. And to have your whole entire congregation do that? Matthew chapter 5, right? And he who teach men so shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. That means you ain't in heaven. You went somewhere else. That's the least in the kingdom of heaven. I'm telling y'all, man. Y'all better wake up out there. Hebrews, my brews. Y'all know I'm one of y'all, right? Listen to your brother. 17. Wherefore, here's for you. Hikamar, here's for you. Saying we got to grow together. Wherefore, come out from among them. Tell me more. Feed my curiosity. And be ye separate. No, let them go together. No, be ye separate. Says who? Says the Most High. And do what? And touch not the unclean thing. Everything unclean. Get away from it. Shout out to y'all defending these chemicals and starch and all of this stuff. That stuff is unclean. It's killing you. What's sin do? What's the wages of sin? Death, right? Everything that's a sin, it's gonna kill you. That's how you're gonna identify that it was wrong to do. If I'm going around sleeping with everybody's wife, one of these brothers is gonna pop me. Why? Because I was sinning, right? What else? What else is a sin? It's gonna kill you. Name it. Give me a death. Somebody throw a death in the chat. And I tell you how they sinned and how that ended up happening to them. Death only comes by sin, right? Lying. You lied to a brother, he find out the truth, he blow your head off. Give me another one, right? The wages of sin is death, period. If you sin, you're gonna die. If you're eating something you're not supposed to be eating, you're gonna get a bad diagnosis from some doctor somewhere. Sodom and Gomorrah, they kill each other. You a man, you like men. You a woman, you like women. Man, they connect to each other on a level that, man, it's like, man, when they betray each other, they kill each other. That's how their connection is. All of the stuff I told you about, all of the ways I trusted you, you know, I got family like that, and you better not play with them, man. I mean, you know, if the devil got you strong enough to where he could tell a man, hey, you don't like them women, you like this man. What more way can you yield yourself to the adversary than that? If the whole earth did that, when we died, there would be no earth, right? It'd be over. Give me some more, right? They made a disease just for people who were doing that, right? Sodomites. It's called AIDS. The wages of sin is death. But there you go. Wherefore, come out from among them and be ye separate. At any time you can do that. The Most High is not going to be mad at you if you do this. Nor are they going to be mad at you if you want to make yourself a doormat and crawl up under some man's boot and get stepped on, right? And call it forgiveness. Oh, I forgive you. Oh, I forgive you, right? Ain't nothing wrong with that. Now, if they can lead you to sin now, that's another thing. If they separate you from the sign between the children of Israel and the Most High, right? If they rile you up like a big angry mob and then lie on the brother and point you to him, and then all of y'all come condemning a man, that's one of the things that the Most High hates the most, is to see the innocent, right, be punished for something that they didn't do, which is what you guys did. All praises to the Most High. And be ye separate. At any moment, if you want to be separate, you tired of the drama, you want to go be in peace, you want to go just obey the Most High and do every word he says, nobody can we wouldn't be in America if he didn't want the northern tribes to do that. Okay, I had a land set aside for y'all to do just that, right? Yeah, go over there and serve me, right? We wouldn't be here. Let me calm these waters, right? So you could get across. Everybody before you who tried to go across, they boat got flipped, right? But I'm going to calm the waters for you to get across and check out this new land, right? A land which no man dwelt, right? Ever dwelt. So if you want to be separate, right? If you want to touch not the unclean thing, all of these poisons, all of these idols, all of that unclean things, right? All of these abominations, pork, bottom feeders that he told us not to eat, catfish, right? Shrimp, oysters, mussels, clams, all of this stuff, right? Lobster, bottom feeders, stuff that crawl around on the ocean floor and eat whatever is in there. You are what you eat. When you eat that flesh becomes part of your flesh and it distributes out through your body. So now you are poison. You are unclean. So if you desire to touch not the unclean thing, who's to tell you you wrong for that? And guess what? When you do that and you get clean, what the Most High says, I will receive you. So if you want to be received by the Most High, right? Then touch not the unclean thing. Separate yourself. So all of that, oh, forgiving this, forget, that's going to hinder you. Long as you're doing that, he's like, he got his hands off you. He like, whatever. But when you make that public declaration, I'm done with this. I want to do this. I want to do that. The Most High is like, aha, come on, baby. And he will do what? I will receive you. My lip was going to stay buttoned, right? We wouldn't be talking about none of this. We wouldn't have none of this testimony if I was still sitting in the chair where I came from, right? That wasn't even the setting It would have been like how we go into the Christian churches and disrupt them, right? That's how it would have been if I would have stood up where I come from and said, hey, everybody, let me talk to you. Let me tell you something, right? Oh, it would have been, you remember how they throw him out on Fresh Prince? How they go flying out that front door? It would have been like that, right? Yeah, 18. And will be a father unto you. So he ain't a father to you without this, right? So if you want him to be a father to you, oh man, come on now. And ye shall be my sons and daughters. Saith who? Saith the Lord Almighty, the ever mighty, the Ah. Okay? So we could keep playing as long as we want to. As much as we want to. Hold up. Kapow! Conference call now. Okay? You got something to say? Chime in Tuesday. Say it there. Right? Say it there. That's your voice. Right? Ask the I am. I don't interrupt. You know, I'm going to let you finish. I'm going to let you say what you want to say. All praise to the Most High. You know? But, man, it's a cold thing, y'all. It's a cold thing that the Father put on us, y'all. It's a cold thing that the Father put on us, but man, it's blessed. It's work. We gotta do it. We gotta jump out the window on all faith. You know, well, you gotta do that. He showed me the end. He didn't show me in between, but he showed me the end, and that's part of what I gotta be careful with, right? I told y'all, no, I'm not telling you everything. It'll mess you up. You will go to hell. Right? Because you will be too boastful, right? And he don't like pride. And, a lot of y'all will go off the deep end, man, with this information, you know? So when it's time for you to know, you will know. But I will tell you, don't worry. That's what I'm going to tell you. Don't worry about nothing, baby. If you love the Most High and you keep this Sabbath and you fix your diet and you eat right. Eating is very important to the Most High. It's very important, y'all. We didn't know that with the dietary law. We couldn't sense that food is very important. He don't want you to just put anything in your mouth. He said don't eat a pig, but somehow we thought that meant it was okay for some man to fix up a chemical and feed us that, or to make something like starch that's not in anything that the Most High made. If it's starch in it, it's man-made. They mingle seed, right? Genesis 6, right? They're able to mingle seed. He flooded the earth for that once, right? For them mixing things that ain't supposed to be mixed, right? They mingle seeds, y'all. Find out what you're eating out of your fruit and vegetables that come from a mingled seed, y'all. They made animals, right? They breeded animals that don't go together and made other animals, ain't it? Yeah. Find out what they did that with. Or keep watching here. I'm going to go into it, right? There's stuff that the Most High made, and then there's stuff that they took and mixed and boop, boop, bop, bop. You can make some fabulous things with the Most High's creation. You can mix some stuff and make some fabulous things, right? And it'll work. They took the metals of the earth and made a gun and made gunpowder and made, you know what I mean? And made that pen the pink, right? But if you put a bullet in there, it'll pow, right? And then they got it to where you could, you know, you got a clip, you got an 80-round clip. So now you got, you know, at first you had a musket, boom, right? That was your only shot you got. You had to hurry up, put something else. Okay, come on, boom. You know what I'm saying? But now we, you know what I'm saying? Shower time, right? We got bullets like drops of water in the shower now. I'm going to shower y'all. Right? I'm going to wave this thing across the yard, and when I get on this side, everything going to be laying down. I'm going to start over here, and when I get like that, all y'all going to be dead, right? The Most High didn't tell us to take his creations and make that. Same thing with your food. What are those things? All of those things, what are they? Sins, y'all. That carrot is just as big a sin as that gun, y'all. The Most High did not tell you to make that. How do you know? You go to the law. You go right in that law. And you look for, make a carrot. Mingle this seed with that seed and do this with it and do that and make this. You don't see that. He tells you what to mix. Mingle oil with fine flour and bake it in a pan and blah, blah. So, that's what he gave us. Things like this, So, what did it say they would do? You need to catch that one that we did. What did we call it? Well, let's go look. I forgot what it's called. Let me word it right so y'all can find it right. Matter of fact, let me use this phone because the computer is tweaking right now. They mad at me. They're mad at me when I start breaking their molds, when I start talking about stuff like this. I notice all of my stuff just goes stupid. I'm surprised I'm even still on the net right now. This, they start kicking me off. Oh, I got the other thing going on. You see that? They know I'm recording over here, so they like, whatever. See how they done left us alone since I started doing it this other way? Believe all things. They messing with you. They watching you. Man, it ain't nothing else worth looking at out there than what I'm saying right now, y'all. They're here. The rulers of this earth are here, y'all. They're watching this because they love seeing how the Most High has spoken to us because it tells them how much time they have left, right? By the subject matter that we're bringing out here. The principal things, that's what it's called. The principal things for a man's life. And it'll tell us all of the things that they corrupted and try to push it back into the produce lineup, and disguise it like it's going to be all right. But nah, the Most High, he made it plain what he made and what he didn't make, And if we're off right now and we keep obeying him, he's going to keep speaking to us and he's going to keep, cleaning us up. And for everything that he reveals to us, and we adapt to it and we adopt it, that's him pulling us closer to him. And one day we're going to be so close to him. Woo-hoo. We're going to be so close, y'all. Oh my goodness. That we're going to be unstoppable, y'all. Man, what he done showed me, y'all. As he wake me up, tell me what to talk about for the day, y'all going to see more and more stuff continue to just keep coming out, y'all. Right? And guess what I want? Nothing. Now, it's not a situation where, come to me, right? Nah. And we gonna do this on YouTube, but I'm gonna take y'all over here and we gonna talk about this, that. Something for you to sign up for. Something for you to spend your money on. Nah, if you spend any money here, it's gonna be a donation, right? If you don't want to give it, I don't want it. I'm not gonna try to find a way to weasel it out of you, cause that's sin. No, you're gonna be blessed when you give. When you give, I'm going to be blessed from you giving, and I'm going to bless somebody else, and you're going to be blessed because this came down from you, right? Yeah, and that's what the church fell off on. Oh, you want to be blessed? Yeah, well, bless me. You know what I'm saying? Nah, it ain't like that. If you give with that mind, that's when the devil going to show up. I'm giving just to give back. No, you can't give like that, Give like you gonna give it regardless, right? And that's how I'm doing my work. Maybe nothing comes out of this ever, because the Cashapp ain't exploding, how some people was afraid was gonna happen, right? Y'all bless me here and there. I'm thankful for it. All praise to the Most High. Y'all bless me. It ain't no explosion, right? You taking care of your brother. All praise to the Most High. I'm gonna do this regardless, y'all. My payment while I'm on earth is you doing the correct thing at the correct time and you getting closer to your Father, right? I believe with my whole heart that he's gonna give me what I'm supposed to have, right? In exchange for me putting him on your mind at the time that I put him on your mind. This world doesn't have to give me anything. He's gonna pay me. He's my boss, right? And it might not be $1. It might, who knows what it might be, It might just be good feelings for the day, because you can't spend your day in a funk. He controls that. He controls your mood, the spirit that you're in, right? But if you know this love and you can turn this love on like a switch, he has already blessed you. He has showed you how to fish instead of just feeding you fish, right? All praise to the Most High. Let's go here. Look at some of this. We talked a little bit about the diet. Y'all link in with the grants, right? Go watch that grant video. Hit the Plant Vineyard 144 to get started with your grants, right? All praises to the Most High. Let's hit the streets tomorrow, Sunday, you know. Man, ain't that beautiful? We end the week keeping the Sabbath properly. We start the week Sunday with Christ's work, y'all. Man, the Alpha and the Omega of your week. Tell me that ain't a beautiful track to be on, y'all. Your whole week should be blessed. If you get into this, I'm telling y'all, man, it's over. Oh, he's gonna, man, I'm telling you. End it keeping the proper Sabbath. Started with Christ's work. Southern, North, Central California. Shout out. Link in with the brethren. Let's come together. One hand washes the other. And what are those two hands going to do? What are those hands going to do that are washing each other? Why are they washing each other? So that they can wash the face, right? We come together, we serve the Most High. We powerful separate. Imagine when we come together, baby, and we're able to put our heads together and serve the Most High for no other reason. We doing this for him. So we going to take the short end of the stick sometime. But I bet you ain't nobody going to steal what's ours. When we come together with our dime and we put something together, the whole congregation going to be able to see where we benefiting from our own dime, right? We ain't going to put our dime in my pocket and you ain't seen it for 15 years, right? You don't got nothing to show for all of the time. Man, I tithe so much, man, every week, right? That's crazy. And I don't blame the leadership either because I seen them lose things and just like, man, he couldn't step in and get there for you. You lost that? That went under? Like, man, you know? Shout out to all of California, man. D Rich, I see you in here. Shout out to Arizona, Phoenix, right? Glendale. Shout out to y'all. Bullhead, Yuma, Tucson. Right? We need all this. We all link in, right? Nevada, Vegas, right? Shout out to Vegas. Shout out to Colorado. Y'all come together. Y'all do y'all thing. Take the love of Christ to the block. It ain't doing no good in your church. It ain't doing no good in your house. We got people walking down the street right now that need Christ. The work is plenteous. The labor's few. Shout out to Houston, Dallas, Fort Worth, San Antonio, Austin, wherever you're at in Texas, link in. Carolina, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, wherever you're at in Georgia, Florida, wherever you're at in Florida, link in. You can't be too far from everybody, and if you are, let's get you fired up where you're at. Shout out to Virginia, y'all, link in. Shout out to Milwaukee. Come on, Wisconsin, get in there. Shout out to Louisiana, North, South, Louisiana, link in. Don't matter where you're at in Louisiana, whatever edge you on, right? Louisiana ain't but, a few hours from one edge to the other, right? Whichever direction you want to go in. So all praises to the Most High. Y'all could come together easy in all of Louisiana, giving our award, waiting on y'all. Come together, take it to the streets. There is no higher task in this work than to go to the public, to go to the highways and the byways and say nothing. It's nothing to us. We talk like this all day. Repent, be baptized. If you have faith, then you believe that the Most High is in those words. That's why I said prophesy to the wind, because it's going to get in that wind and it's going to wave and it's going to go where it needs to go. It was people coming, and it was like, man, you couldn't hear what I was saying over there. It ain't the words, it's the spirit. It's who's in the spirit of the words. And it goes. It don't just go in your ears, it'll go in your nose. And you'll breathe it and it'll drag you over to where we were. It was people who pulled up like bats out of hell, like, and I'm asking, like, did y'all see them go by? Why they pull up like that? Did they go by before and they just came up like that the first time? Like, they pulled up like that the first time. Swerved up on us on the brakes, trunk in the air, right? When they stopped, the trunk came down like that. Like, whoa, y'all preaching the word? Yeah, we're preaching the word. Let me get a flyer. Okay, here's the flyer. Telling y'all, that's the height of this Christ life, y'all. That's where you're going to have your fun at. Oh, and you're going to go home, and you're going to be so full of the Spirit, and you're going to be so far away from sin. Your little temptations that be bugging you from day to day, they're going to say something at that moment, and you're going to backhand them like, man, shut up, right? In the spiritual world. Now, not physically, but spiritually. Your spirit, man, going to be like, ah, get out of here, shut up. Who you talking to, right? You know, Kentucky, shout out, you know? Kentucky, link in. DMV, link in. Ohio, link in. Whoever you are, wherever you're at, link in. I know you got brothers there that can come together and use this idea that I'm throwing out here right now. Let's take it to the streets, y'all. Take the word of Christ to the streets. All right, you ain't gotta film everything, but every now and again we gonna film some. I'm gonna edit the video. We almost ready for another back on the block. We almost ready. You know, the usual suspects is in there. I want y'all to see some new brothers y'all ain't seen yet. Shout out to Oklahoma and the OKC. Shout out to Tulsa. Y'all link in and y'all take the love of Christ to the block. Shout out to Michigan. Y'all link in, get the flyer, pass them out. You can do that by yourself if you the only person where you are. Pass a flyer out. Even if you ain't with us, make your own flyer, pass it out. I want the whole world to be doing this. Even if you don't, come and rock with us. Make your own thing then. It's only one Christ. It's going to serve him. Don't come with us. Do this yourself. But you want to come with us. You want to be somebody who I link in with y'all when I come there. You want to hang with the old Eddie Kane, you know what I'm saying? We can hang out and do our brute thing, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to New Zealand and South Africa. Shout out to the UK. UK, link in. Love that accent, right? Talking to a brother, man, I love his accent, man. Just talk. Just keep talking out. They whole lingo is dope. They call fries chips. You know, different little lingos and things like that, you know. All praises to the Most High. You know, whoever you are, wherever you're at, I send my love to you on the Sabbath. Yeah, Eddie Kane, Mark AZ, I ain't nobody, man. I'm casted out, man. I'm nobody, man. Yeah, that's how I gotta see myself, man. I never... The shining armor syndrome, right? Can you imagine that today if somebody walked up, clink, 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 clink? You know, like, man, that's like medieval, bro. Like, that's this suit. Look at my shiny suit, right? Man, nobody wears that anymore. Get out of here, man. You know, you pull out an AK or a Draco or something. You pink, pink, pink. You know, we piercing that. Get out of here. That's nothing. That's thin. You know, you don't know what's going on in the rest of the world because you're so fixated on your own suit. Oh, we're the best. There's nobody better than us, and we're blah blah. You know what I'm saying? That's how silly pride is. The world is doing all of this and all of that, and you ain't peered up since because you too fixated on yourself. Look at my suit, right? Look at my shiny suit. Look at my armor. Oh, look at my shoulder pads. You know what I'm saying? You ever try to fight? How you doing this? If you do that while you in the middle of a fight, you gonna poop, bop, bop. You gonna get worked. Man, you looking at yourself, man. Oh, we're this and we're that and you know what I'm saying? I ain't nothing. I ain't nobody. There's nothing to see here. If I do like that, I'm going to see behind me. I ain't nothing. You know what I mean? Invisible man. Powerful word. Invisible man. Yeah. Let this word go out there and do what it's supposed to do, right? Because that's the Most High going. I'm just a vessel, you know? I'm a cup. That's what a vessel is. A cup, a bowl, a picture. Everybody's a vessel for what you got in you. And when you get full of yourself, you done poured out that good substance and somebody done just peed in you. That's what the compliments are doing and the praise. And you know what I mean? They just peeing in you as a vessel. And it just makes you rotten and putrid. And now you're pouring that into cups. That frowardness. You know what I'm saying? Nah, don't let nobody spoil you. All praises. It's the reason why we say all praises to the Most High. All praise. I don't want none. You want to help me? Pray for me. That's what you can do. If you want, you know what I'm saying? If you want to praise me, no, tell him. Don't tell me. Thank you. Thank you, Father, for what you have Brother Brian's doing, what you have Brother Brian saying. Can you please continue to keep guiding our brother? Protect him, this and that, blah, blah. Right? Man, that means so much better than me to, hey, the blah, blah, and this and that. You know? Let the brethren praise you and not your own lips. All praise to the Most High. You know, I ain't going to bite your head off unless you take it too far. But, yeah, I received the all praises to the Most High for you. And, yeah, that's the best thing you can say to me. But say it to him, you know? Yeah, we're going to do one on pride. Let me make the note. Do one on pride, y'all. Pride and vainglory, egos, and you know, I don't have no ego. That's why you like, man, he just talked crazy to Brother Brian. It didn't even faze him. Because I'm not the problem. Problem is coming from the person. None of us is doing everything that everybody is going to agree with. You're going to have people who disagree and don't. What I'm doing is weighing what's more important for who. Does it help more than it hurts? Who is it helping? Who is it hurt? And to call us filthy rags and holier than thou and all of that, who is that helping? Somebody that's helping somebody who could be performing better, but they're not. That's to cushion him and give him a soft landing and to empower a person who wants to sin. That's who the filthy rag and all of that is helping. Nah, desire to do better. You see people performing the things that the Most High told them to perform, and that's offending you when you're calling them over. Ain't no such thing as over righteous. There's righteous and there's wicked. So over righteous, you're telling me to do what? Be more wicked? What are you telling me? When you go into them scriptures, it's about if you can destroy yourself, which there's a lot of ways we can destroy ourselves being too righteous. Did I tell you not to eat, to starve to death because you can't trust anything? That's what grace is for. Yeah, I'm eating this. I don't understand what I'm eating. But once you understand what you're eating, you gonna keep eating that? Or should you be cold turkey? No. Drop some. Next week, drop something else. Next week, drop 3 things. You're gonna see how powerful you get. By the time you in week 6, you're dropping like 10 things at a time. You're like... You know, he's going to empower you. He's never going to leave you. He's going to make a way for you to escape. So see the power of the Most High. See his power. It's hard and everything. What's easy in the beginning? Most things are hard in the beginning, but it's not going to stay like that. You having that much trouble because you're getting started. It's that hard because you're getting started. It was that hard to put that first thing behind you because it was the first thing that you put behind you. The second thing will be easier. The third thing will be easier. The 10th thing will be a walk in the park. The 20th thing, you flipping them behind your back. The 40th thing, you ain't even gonna miss it. The 40th thing, you didn't even get at no effort. You was like, I haven't had none of that in 2 years. I didn't even know I had to give that up. But hey, I ain't had none of it in 2 years already. So hey, this thing will get easier, y'all. They're not feeding us that hope out there in the world. Where is the person that's saying this? No, we want to just keep folding under the nobody's perfect and the excuses. Oh, don't be holier than thou. Oh, don't be righteous over much. Don't be over righteous. How long we going to fold under that? How long will we love simplicity? Let's get that one. Proverbs 1:22. Oh, that's so cold. Yeah, let's go out. Let's go out on this, y'all. This is how our Father get down, y'all. Oh, we're going to go into it. No, we was almost out of here. Change of plans. Let's read this Proverbs chapter 1 here. Starting at verse 22. How long, ye simple ones, will ye love simplicity? When will we get over that, y'all? When will we be tired and make our walk with the Most High effective, y'all? Now, and the scorners delight in their scorning, because whenever somebody is showing you something new and better, you go to ridiculing. That's a scorner. And fools hate knowledge. And fools hate knowledge. You're mad at the knowledge that's coming at you. What is that? Who is that? A fool. Fools hate knowledge, y'all. Fools hate that new, refreshing knowledge that's coming at them that can change their whole life, that can change the results they've been getting up to the point where you had to say something to them, right? Yeah. 23. Turn ye at my reproof. He gonna get deep, y'all. Brace yourself. Where I correct you, turn at that. How do you turn? To turn back, right? That means repent. Turn, return, all of that in the Hebrew, it means repent. To spin around, to do a 180 and go back the other way. Stop doing what you're doing and do something else. That's what that means. Turn ye at my reproof. When I correct you, turn. It's the Most High speaking. Behold, pay attention. That's what behold means. Pay attention, study. Really hone in on what I'm about to say is what behold means. Watch this. It's what behold means. I will pour out my spirit unto you, and I will make known my words unto you. So you were silly, you didn't know, but don't worry. Somebody's gonna come say what's on my mind. If I gotta pull them into the electric blue to correct the earth, I'm gonna do that. I will make my words known unto you. 24, because I have called and ye refused. He calling, hey, nobody's paying attention. And ye refused. No, I'm not hearing that voice. I hear it calling me, but I'm not going to spin around. I'm not going to turn. Where? At my reproof, right? I'm not going to turn. No. I have stretched out my hand, and no man regarded. How does he stretch out his hand? Oh, he stretched it out in love. He stretched it out in hate, right? He thrashed us up in the ghetto. We still didn't hear that. That's him stretching out his hand. That's him using the ways he got to reach us. Nothing's working, right? No man regarded. 25, but ye have set at naught all my counsel. You have set at nothing everything I say. Everything I'm telling you that's going to make things right, you have set that at nothing. And with none of my reproof. Back here again, right? Turn at my reproof. What is the reproof? That's correction, y'all. I have corrected you. You ignored my correction. 26. I will also laugh at your calamity. When is that coming? Oh, man. He's going to laugh at our disaster. Why? Because how old are you? 23? For 23 years, he's been stretching out his hand with love and chastening. You ain't heard none of it. You 34? 34 years. He's been stretching out his hand. You're 54. How old are you? And he's been stretching out his hand and you ain't been hearing. So, 26, and I will laugh at your calamity. And what do they always say? Oh, God. No, don't cry to me now, right? I will laugh at your calamity. Oh God, I will mock when your fear comes. So when you scared, oh Father, he gonna be like, oh Father, that's what it is to mock you, right? He gonna like, oh Father, look at y'all. Yeah, our Father, he's like that. He carries these emotions. 27, when your fear comes as a desolation, when your fear comes, so you're scared, desolation is, when you're desolate, everything it's a ghost town. You know how that tumbleweed blow? You know that tumbleweed go? Yeah, nobody's there. So when you're afraid and you have no help, it's what fear comes as a desolation. Fear, you're scared, desolation, there's nobody to run to. There's nobody to help you. You know what I mean? And what's next? And your destruction cometh as a whirlwind. So it's going to be strong and it's going to snatch you up in it, like a tornado. Ain't going to be nothing you can do. And it's what? Your destruction is going to do this to you. It's just going to swallow you up. You ain't going to have a chance. That's what that means. When your destruction cometh as a whirlwind. Man, when distress and anguish come upon you. What's distress? What's anguish? Oh, I lost, right? Anguish is when you look at your womb like, oh, it messed me up pretty good. Like, man, I'm not going to survive this, right? Oh, look at all my blood oozing out. That's your anguish, right? That's when there's all hope is out the window. When you're distressed, it's getting me. Your anguish is, it got me. Now you're looking at the wound. Your distress is you see the sword coming, right? Your anguish is that sword done came and just slice your whole chest open. You looking at your chest, right? You looking at yourself leak, thinking, man, I got about 30 seconds, right? Yeah, 28. Then shall they call upon me. Now, oh God, right? But I will not answer. Now, he's gonna flip it. When he was calling you, you wasn't hearing him, right? He's saying you're going to get that same thing. I love them that love me, right? And those who seek me early. This is you not seeking him early, okay? Early is when it's too late. Before it's too late is early. Now you want to call upon him. Then shall they call upon me, but I will not answer. They shall seek me early. So it's not too late. How is it not too late? Because it's never too late for the Father. They done slash your chest wide open. The Father can make it so you can't die if you got that kind of faith. They gonna stitch you up. You're gonna be fine. You're gonna be walking around out the hospital with stitches across your chest, right? It's never too late for him. What about Lazarus? He was dead. They knew it wasn't no coming back for him. He had been dead a while. When they say you only got a few minutes after death, right? For your brain sink in and can't be fluffed back up. For you brain dead, what's the brain? That's only the Most High can deal with that brain, y'all. And open them eyes and make them blink. And you know what I mean? And, that's the motherboard that the Most High controls. We are electric. That's why when you get knocked out, what you doing? Ain't that the same thing you doing if you getting electrocuted? Your head got rebooted, right? Boop. Yeah, reset that system. Yeah. Never too late for the Most High. He can bring you back. So if you're able to call upon him, it's not too late. He can fix you at the moment you call on him. But here, they shall seek me early. They shall call on me, right? But they shall not find you. Ain't gonna find him. Why? Because he ain't gonna pop up. He ain't gonna come. He ain't gonna come to you, right? 29. For they that hated knowledge and did not choose the fear of the Lord, for that they hated knowledge. You hated knowledge. When he was sending you all his reproof, that was the knowledge. 30. They would none of my counsel. They would none of my counsel. Right? So you wouldn't none of his counsel. Old Quaker English, they would not. They would none. That's how they spoke back then. They would none of my counsel. They despised all my reproof. 31. Therefore shall they eat the fruit, the juicy bite of what? Of their own way. So, don't try to get on my way now. Remember when you wanted to do it your way and you wouldn't do it my way? Now you in trouble in your way. Now you trying to jump onto my way? No, stay on your way, right? They shall eat the fruit of their own way and be filled with their own devices. Those who hunger and thirst after righteousness shall be filled, right? They shall be filled with righteousness, right? Like Matthew 5 and 6 say, no, they shall be filled with what? With their own devices. No, I was on this. Instead of hungering and thirsting for this book and his righteousness, remember, and all, it was all about this tablet, right? It was all about this and that. No, your own devices. No, they filled with that. And what's on that? Yeah. He gonna take his word out of that. You know, we have that scripture where it say we gonna fiend for this word. How is that gonna happen? They're gonna take this internet. You ain't gonna be able to come outside. Wherever you hiding at, you're gonna be blessed that they ain't found you there. And you're gonna stay there. And you're gonna fiend for a page out of this book. Watch the book of Eli. It's coming. One Bible in the earth is gonna be worth $1 billion, which, you know, where you gonna spend it at anyway? That's gonna show you what money is worth. You ain't gonna be able to spend no money, but that Bible is gonna be worth something, right? Watch the book of Eli. They tell us a lot in these movies. 32, for the turning away of the simple shall slay them. You turned away. He was trying to get you to turn back to him with the reproof up there. Remember that? You wouldn't turn. So the turning away of the simple shall slay them. That's going to be the nail in your coffin. And the prosperity of fools shall destroy them. So that money that you gained, that money you took from the congregation didn't do nothing for them. That's why. It's telling you the why. It's telling you why they did it. It's telling you what happened to all of that zeal you saw them have that went out the window at some point. Want nothing. Had them in the Garden of Eden. He didn't have no gold in there. He didn't have gold chandeliers at a beautiful banquet. You know, he didn't have that. It wasn't no gold on his chairs and things on the table and all. You know what I mean? He laid in that grass and he named his bug and he bit into his fruit, you know, and that was life, you know. And other things happened after that. That's another story. We'll go into that. You know, but it wasn't by him. Adam was all right. You can always get back to Adam, fellas. You don't need that stuff, right? It's a man who can say, forget the world and everything in it. I love my father, and I'm fine with what my father gave me. I'm fine with a piece of fruit and with my bugs and with my animals. At any moment, we love our wife, but we got to be able to check our wife, because it was Eve that brought other things into the equation. She can be persuaded because she's tenderhearted. She loves at a fault where it's dangerous for everybody. And that's one thing you can't do. That's how they love, right? And they want to use love like that. Nah, there's a way to use love. There's a way that love, you know, it'll damage. We can't let people use love to destroy us. That's where we got to draw the line and say, no, that's not love. You're trying to harm me now. The love I'm talking about is healthy, y'all. The love I'm talking about is 1 Corinthians chapter 13. And show me anywhere in that chapter where that's going to harm you. And I'm not talking about this temporary stuff in the earth. People in the earth going to roll over on you. Yeah, they're going to do everything to you that was done to Christ. Right? But watch out for the love that's going to destroy your soul forever. There is a love that's going to destroy your flesh. And what is it called? It's called salvation if you're following Christ. But the last verse, verse 33. But whoso hearken unto me shall dwelleth safely. Safely, what is that? That's a destination. What gets you to a destination? A path. Right? That electric blue, baby. That sapphire. Dwell safely, y'all. And what? And shall be quiet from the fear of evil. Oh, man. There it is. And on that note, y'all, Shabbat Shalom. You know, y'all enjoy your Sabbath. Firm Shalom, Shabbat Shalom to the 12 tribes worldwide, y'all. Enjoy your Sabbath, study up, rest up, right? Don't go out your door. Don't spend no money, because it's the sign between him and us. Right? Don't be fighting and quarreling with people. Don't let them get you mad and fussing and cussing and all of that. Right? On this holy set apart day. Right? Don't do none of that. Don't do nothing that you're going to do on a regular day. This day is set apart. Right? All praises to the Most High, y'all. I love y'all. Most eternal. Right? And I'm going to hit this button again. We're going to chop it up again as soon as possible. Right? I'm going to go. I'm going to rest up. I'm going to finish my Sabbath out. Drink me some water, you know, and just hang out. You know, with the I am, things of this nature. You know, I'm going to catch up with y'all soon. I love y'all. Shabbat Shalom. Sorry about missing Thursday, the conference call, but I had to run out last minute and go put my daughter on an airplane. I wasn't going to let her do that without me putting a prayer over her, right? She was a little weirded out by getting on that airplane, so I had to go take care of her that night. But we're going to get back on the schedule. Matter of fact, next time I chime in, if somebody has something to say, we just going to, you know, how you say it through there till I figure the rest of this technology out, right? But y'all have a blessed Sabbath, y'all. I love y'all. Shabbat Shalom.
Get this Jubilee right fast for the people.
Kept 85 times in the book of Acts. Defended with they lie in the book of Maccabees. If the Most High your Majesty, then you know pastors at churches is really Pharisees. Gathering and fellowshipping on the wrong day. Turned the real Sabbath to a clearance sale long day. A bunch of buy one get one free and half off. Satan take your currency and get a laugh off. Look at your sheep, break your sign, Father. I told you I could be like you. Look how I got 'em. Father, put this day aside for study and rest. Ain't supposed to break a sweat or pant in your breath. But 6 days out the week, shout thy labor. One day was sacred, toil free, and it's for the Creator. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob kept. Cause on the 7th day he rested. Shabbat Shalom. On the Sabbath, open my eyes on the Sabbath. Rise on the Sabbath, up and at it. Shabbat Shalom. On the Sabbath, study my best on the Sabbath. Rest on the Sabbath, up and at it. Shabbat Shalom. On the Sabbath, open my eyes on the Sabbath. As I rise on the Sabbath, up and at it. Shabbat Shalom. Shalom. And if you wanna buy or sell, holla back at us, Macaw. Let me give you the rundown. Friday is sundown, and Saturday is sundown. Shabbat, that's one down. God, you know the plan. Had a good book in my hand with a sermon in the background. Listen to the man. Listen to you got an ear, let him hear. Have no fear. The sign of bond between yours, his, and mine is reappeared. Could've died Friday, could've died Thursday. Understand and respect this commandment. It's not a work day. Pharaoh been cracking his whip to turn the heat up. Now I got a sweet cup, eliminate my feet up. And I've been gazing in this book so long that every time I try to look up, my eyesight long go. I'm not jumping, not running, not walking. If you're gonna discuss some nonsense, I ain't even talking. Nope. I'm not twisting, not stooping, not bending, not cooking, not tripping. The ending, Shabbat Shalom. On the Sabbath, open my eyes on the Sabbath. Rise on the Sabbath, up and at it. Shabbat Shalom. On the Sabbath, study my best on the Sabbath. Rest on the Sabbath, up and at it. Shabbat Shalom. On the Sabbath, I'm at home on the Sabbath. I ain't going on no Sabbath. Check my status. Shabbat Shalom. And if you wanna buy or sell, holla back at us, Macaw. Shabbat Shalom. And if you wanna buy or sell, holla back at us, Macaw. You wanna buy or sell, got to holla back. That's the Jubilee. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What you counting for? What's that? Yeah, that's the Jubilee. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Look it in the Hebrew, get it in the Abiyah one time. That's the Jubilee. Hey, what you mean by that? Start there. That's the Jubilee. I don't think they heard you. Get it in the Babylon. Let them get it in the Babylon. That's the Jubilee. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Get it in Hebrew and let's get out of here. That's the Jubilee. Let's go. Shabbat shalom, family. I'm on.
Shalom ya shabadaba daba haraka shala haya wayasha hamashiya.
And what's that? That's the Jubilee.